You've probably seen 100 migration videos that start the same way. Australia needs nurses, teachers, and engineers. Well, no kidding. But what if I told you that some of the fastest PR approvals in Australia right now aren't going to doctors or software developers? They're going to occupations like hydrographers, arborists, and refrigeration technicians. Yeah, the people who keep your aircon working and your data center cool are secretly getting their PR faster than half the country. Welcome to the Secret Priority Skills List, Australia's unofficial fast lane for people with skills the system can't survive without, even though no one's shouting about them. The quiet truth behind the lists. So, yes, we all know about the Australia Skills List. But here's what most migrants never realize. Australia runs on a silent priority system. The official lists are like the menu in a restaurant, but the chef's specials are hidden. If your job saves the economy from quietly breaking down, whether that's cooling a hospital fridge or keeping the internet running, you get fast-tracked. Remember the old priority migration skilled occupation list from the pandemic? That was supposed to end, but it never really did. The idea of prioritizing critical occupations stuck. It just went underground. Now, instead of one official list, case officers fast-track anything that keeps the lights on, the data flowing, or the infrastructure from crumbling. You won't find this list published, but if you look closely at what's being sponsored regionally or by major employers, it's there. The uncommon jobs secretly moving fast. Let's look at the jobs that are quietly jumping the queue. These aren't your standard office roles. They're the ones that keep Australia running behind the scenes. 1. Air conditioning and refrigeration technicians. Not glamorous, but absolutely golden. Australia is obsessed with data centers, hospitals, supermarkets, and mines, all of which rely on massive refrigeration systems. So, when the country realized it didn't have enough licensed technicians, these guys suddenly became top tier. If you can fix a supermarket fridge, you're practically a national treasure. Migration data shows employer-sponsored applications for refrigeration mechanics being processed in half the usual time, because when a hospital's vaccine fridge fails, you don't wait 6 months to fix it. 2. Hydrogeologists. They don't wear capes, just steel boots and sunburn. But hydrogeologists are quietly keeping Australia's future flowing. These are the experts who study underground water systems, how water moves through soil and rock, where it's safe to drill, and how mining or farming affects the water table. And right now, they're in high demand, with drought management, renewable energy projects, and water security becoming national priorities. States like Western Australia and South Australia are fast-tracking hydrogeologists under both regional and employer-sponsored visas. If you spend your days reading borehole logs, mapping aquifers, or explaining groundwater models to people who barely know what permeability means, congratulations, you're quietly standing on the express lane to PR. 3. Arborists, tree specialists. Now this one shocks everyone. Yes, tree experts are on the unofficial fast lane. This is because cities like Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth are on an urban greening mission, and councils can't find enough certified arborists to safely maintain thousands of public trees. They've had cases of tree collapses causing accidents, and now arborists are being treated like safety engineers. Regional areas love them too. They're essential for environmental conservation and land management. So, if you climb trees for a living and know your way around a chainsaw, you might be closer to PR than a banker. 4. Diesel motor mechanics, heavy vehicle focus. Now, everyone knows car mechanics, but heavy vehicle diesel mechanics? Totally different league. Australia's mining and logistics industries are crying for people who can service haul trucks, road trains, and earth-moving machines. In regional Western Australia, some companies are literally sponsoring applicants within weeks. If you can fix something the size of a small house and make it move again, you're not just in demand, you're irreplaceable. 5. Quantity surveyors. Everyone talks about builders and architects, but the people quietly running the show are quantity surveyors. They're the ones making sure billion-dollar projects don't go broke halfway through a car park. Every road, hospital, apartment tower, or rail project needs someone to keep costs under control, materials ordered, and budgets from exploding. And right now, Australia can't find enough of them, with construction and infrastructure projects multiplying across the country, from Sydney's metro tunnels to Western Australia's housing expansions. Quantity surveyors are suddenly getting priority sponsorships from both government contractors and private firms. Western Australia, New South Wales, and South Australia have all pushed these roles up their regional nomination lists. Because without cost estimators and project surveyors, nothing moves. So, if you can crunch numbers, quote measurements in cubic meters before breakfast, and stop a project manager from having a nervous breakdown over budgets, congratulations, you're on the quiet PR fast track. 6. Cybersecurity Engineers, Australia's digital bodyguards. You hear cybersecurity and think of hoodie-wearing hackers typing at midnight. But the real heroes are cybersecurity engineers, quietly defending the systems that keep Australia running. These aren't compliance officers or checklist people. They're the ones building digital walls, strong enough to keep out everyone from script kiddies to state-sponsored hackers. Right now, Australia's banking, defence, healthcare and energy sectors are in a quiet panic over cybersecurity shortages. The government has officially classified many of these roles under critical infrastructure, which basically means we can't run the country without you. As a result, cybersecurity engineers are getting employer sponsorships and visa processing at lightning speed, even for offshore applicants. If you can harden a network, design intrusion detection systems, or stop ransomware from ruining someone's week, you're not just an IT professional, you're Australia's newest priority migrant. 7. Geotechnical Engineers. It's not the flashiest job title, but geotechnical engineers are the reason Australia's tunnels don't collapse and skyscrapers don't sink into the ground. They're the ones who figure out whether the soil beneath your billion-dollar project will actually hold it up. And right now, they're worth their weight in gold. With infrastructure and mining projects exploding across Western Australia, Queensland, and the Northern Territory, geotechnical engineers have become one of the most quietly sponsored roles on the migration lists. From analyzing rock cores and slope stability to designing foundations for bridges and mines, their expertise is what keeps the whole show standing, literally. Regional employers are fast-tracking sponsorships because every major project, from highways to wind farms, needs a geotech before a single shovel hits the ground. It's not glamorous work, because you'll spend more time with soil samples than spreadsheets. But if you can read the earth like a book, Australia's PR door is already half open for you. 8. Telecommunications cable joiners. You probably don't think much about who actually connects the cables that keep your Wi-Fi alive, but Australia does. Telecommunications cable joiners are the hands-on experts splicing fiber optics, running underground lines, and repairing the connections that make the whole digital country work. Next time someone tells you to pick an occupation from the top PR jobs list online, just smile and think, sure, you do that. I'll be in my lab coat, or halfway up a gum tree waiting for my PR approval. Because the real list, the secret one, belongs to the people nobody talks about.